Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, and Shinrin Yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Friday, June 3rd, 9 p.m. Mountain Time 2022. The models are in, and they are showing snow in the west. Take a look at this. These are the snow totals for mid-June. That means we have some surprises coming this summer. But the big story, UAH satellite-based temperatures of the lower global atmosphere out May 2022, just 0.17 degrees above the global warmest baseline. That's the same temperature it was 3 decades ago. Keep calm. It's boom time. And we'll get back to the UAH data in a moment. But first, let's talk about potential tropical Cyclone One, the first boom of the season. As of 7 p.m. Friday, CDT, maximum sustained winds were just at 35 knots. That's 40 miles per hour. Not much of a storm. Let's take a look at the key messages for potential tropical Cyclone One. Heavy rain associated with the system is expected across western Cuba, where life-threatening flash flooding and mudslides are possible. Heavy rain will affect portions of the central Florida, South Florida, through the Florida Keys today and continue through Saturday. Considerable flash and urban flooding is possible across South Florida and the Keys. Flash and urban flooding is also possible across the northwestern Bahamas. Tropical storm conditions are expected in the warning area in western Cuba this afternoon and tonight, and in Florida tonight and on Saturday, and in the northwestern Bahamas on Saturday. Tropical storm conditions are possible in the watch area in western Cuba. So heads up. There is potential flash flooding, so we'll quick come over there and take a look at that. There is your flash flooding potential, at least moderate in from, let's say, Estero South, Estero Bay South. You're looking at moderate potential, 40% for flooding. So not a big storm, and the only will be some wind damage, maybe some broken limbs, but flooding is the biggest warning for this potential tropical storm. So we'll keep a close eye on it for you, and you should be prepared, not scared. Now let's take a look at the GFS model for snow. You can see there's going to be some snow up in Canada, BC, maybe in the high mountain ranges. But here on June 14th and 15th, there is definitely a system that will be coming through that's going to be bringing much needed precipitation to the high country and maybe a mid-June snow boom. So we'll keep a close eye on that for you, as it's been over 9 years since the last EF5 tornado struck the United States. The alarmists have been telling us all these storms are getting stronger and bigger, and it couldn't be further from the truth. Hurricanes have been decreasing in size and magnitude over the last few decades, as well as tornadoes here. We can see it's been a decade since the last EF5 tornado struck the United States. And this is according to meteorological data. And in the last EF5 was in Joplin, Missouri, Moore, Oklahoma, and Greensburg, Kansas. These are all synonymous with EF5 tornadoes that decimated the cities and killed several of its residents. Now, an EF5 tornado, if you don't know, is the highest ranking of the enhanced Fujita tornado scale. And we use this system to access damage caused by this weather phenomenon called tornadoes. EF5 tornadoes cause catastrophic damage to the places they touch, and winds in the twister can exceed 200 miles per hour, like in this photo, which is complete devastation. Now, the science behind the enhanced Fujita scale, well, tornadoes are a common weather phenomenon that occur year-round. We see them for several reasons, in the spring and summer. And they occur when hurricanes bring severe thunderstorms onshore, or when extreme weather systems with hot and cold are closely spaced, and we get something called supercells. So, according to the enhanced Fujita scale, unlike hurricanes, which are rated by their wind speeds, tornadoes are rated by the damage they cause. And after a tornado occurs, the National Weather Service or Emergency Management assesses the damage to determine the rating. Now, the ratings are associated with wind speeds in the chart, because obviously as the wind speed increases, the damage increases. Towns are destroyed with EF5s when the winds are greater than 200, and EF0 and 1s, they're the ones that just topple a few mobile homes. So the fact is that there have been, well, less EF5 tornadoes than at any time in history. In fact, it's been 9 years since the last EF5. So those are the facts, and we're sticking with them. Tropical warnings Continue for Florida with heavy rain and flooding likely. A tropical system will continue to approach Florida with impacts expected through Saturday. Heavy rain will affect portions of central and southern Florida and the Florida Keys as considerable flash and urban flooding are possible. Isolated tornadoes are also in the forecast across Florida through Saturday. Here are the warning watches. It's almost the entire southern half of the state. The only area picking up a little orange here, which is a severe thunderstorm warning, is the Miami and the East Coast there. But we still have wind warnings and severe thunderstorm watches here for a very parched region. So click on your county for warnings and watches in your area. And take a look at this. There are frost and freeze warnings in northern Wisconsin and Michigan. So if you planted early in northern Michigan, holy macaroni, cover those crops. And that's not you, Top Knot. Seismic update. No quakes of note. We have some rumblers. The most recent quake here, a 4.3 in Mexico. But nothing significant. Normal activity in the Ring of Fire, 5.6 in Japan. This might be an interesting little quake here, 4.4 in Kuwait. But nothing out of the ordinary. Quentin, 3.2 frat quake. So, all is quiet in North America and the whole world. Worldwide volcano news update. Nothing spectacular happening. Popo is back in the picture after it took a respite there and is now puffing to 19,000, as well as Semaru, Dukono, Sangay, Sabancaya, Suwanosima. But we want to bring your attention to Yakidaki volcano. I don't know if you've ever heard of it in Honshu, Japan, but the seismic swarm is continuing under this volcano, and the alert status has been raised to level 2. On the 24th of May, the Japan Meteorological Agency raised the alert level for the volcano to level 2, as a swarm of small quakes has occurred at shallow levels. Quakes have continued to pick up in numbers on the 23rd and is going on for now. Now, Yakidaki volcano in Japan, Taiwan, or the Marianas, that's the volcanic region, is a stratovolcano. The last eruption was in 1995. The JMA just raised the alert level on May 24th. And the eruptive history is sparse in recent times, VEI 1 and 2. That's why the volcano has such a nice shape. Take a look at that. Beautiful shape to that volcano. Let's see if we can get that a little bigger for you. Why wouldn't we? And so this pointy nature shows that it's been a while since the top blew off. In fact, as a geologist, I can look right here, and you can too, and you can see this is the formal, see this break point here? This was during the last large eruption. This would be a VEI 3 or 4 that would blow the top off, and the rest of this has been forming since then. And we can just go over to the Global Volcanism Program and we can go check that out. In fact, that eruption occurred quite a bit ago, back in 350 BC. So it's been 1,400 years or so since this baby blew big. And now the entire top is back on and it's picking back up. So the potential for this top to blow off is very high because it now has a top. In case you don't understand how volcanoes work. So we'll keep a close eye on that. And now let's come to look at Astya. Now what in fact is Astya? Well, Astya volcano is a volcano. What did I just close? Did I close something important? No, I didn't. So Astya volcano is a stratovolcano over in central Iceland that has had some activity recently. And we're keeping a close eye on the Reykjanes Peninsula here because the seismic swarms continue. You can see here over the last 24 hours, still some significant activity, all clustering here by the Reykjanes volcano, a volcano that hasn't erupted since about 1350. And when the Reykjanes volcano goes off, another large volcano in Iceland accompanies it every time. And there has been some recent activity at Astya as well as Bardabunga. So we're keeping a close eye on both of these regions, as seismicity overall is quite overwhelming, including this 4 magnitude that just happened on the Reykjanes just a few hours ago. Let's check out USGS and see if they actually have an earthquake up there at that magnitude for Iceland. Now, in case you haven't noticed, our audio is new. Our video is new. Our recorder is new. Everything is fully in effect. No more glitches, no more static. And I'm even here, down here at the new studio, where you can see my glowing microphone in front of me. And soon we'll have a green screen behind me and we'll be able to be a little bit more professional. But with this microphone right here, there will be no more crackling or smackling or any of that. And we're going to be able to bring you the unadulterated news. So that's good news. Certainly good news for you. Now let's just finish up here with some interesting alarmist articles that are trying to be science-y. Now, the ruins of a hidden 3,400-year-old city emerges as a giant dam dries up. This is the archaeological site of Kemune in the Mosul Dam. And this is provided by the universities of Freiburg and Tübingen. Now, what they've uncovered here as the water receded was an ancient city. In fact, the ruins of a 3,500-year-old city, which have some amazing artifacts preserved. The unfortunate thing is this is a total sharticle. As they open up with the tightening grip of climate change on our planet is revealing secrets buried for the millennia. When, if you read the article, climate change has nothing to do with the lowering of this dam. In fact, the city is now resubmerged as the entire reservoir is filled again. But what they did uncover in the ruse here, that they blamed on climate change, is a city that was unearthed with spectacular preservation. Take a look at this 3,400-year-old city. The bricks look brand new. The mortar's still in place. They found clay vessels with tablets, cuneiform tablets in perfect preservation. These have been submerged for decades. And that is fascinating. But just to poo-poo the first sentence, the dam has now been refilled, submerging the city once more. But steps have been taken to make sure that it will be preserved for future excavations when the water recedes once more. So the water's receded due to climate change, and now it's over, I guess, because the lake is now filled. So everybody, climate change is over. Now Neanderthal man's recreated face takes the internet by storm. And I know why, because I went to college with a guy who looked just like this, and his name was Jimmy. And I'm not even lying to you. Those genetics still exist in the human population. One tip, it's looking like if you want to invest in crypto, start now and invest until October, because that's the next jump. But that's just a fairy tale. I just made that up. Now, a new paper coming out. We're about to do a podcast over at Magnetic Reversal News on for your pleasure toward a new theory of Earth's crustal displacement. Now, hold on to your seats, kids. The highlights of this paper state that short-term reversals of Earth's geomagnetic field may unlock the crust to allow tidal forces to move the crust in the same way that they do oceans. And therefore, sea level changes might thus result from the buildup of melting and polar ice over ice ages, and also by Earth's cyclical orbital movements combined with pole shifts. Now, if this is intriguing to you, and the simple term crustal displacement that's in a scientific paper is even more amazing, well, come check over the podcast on Magnetic Reversal News in about an hour. And now we're back to the UAH satellite-based temperatures. Do you remember back in Al Gore's time here when we were all burning up? I think this is when he won the Nobel Prize. This was the big global warming scare when he published his book. The temperature is now lower than all of those times. 3 decades later, the temperature is colder than it was when Al Gore won the Nobel Prize. And that is a boom to knowledge. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. In a dystopian world where Al Gore can win a Nobel Prize, what planet are we on? Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Share this with like-minded people. And thank you to all our Patreons. Without you, we do not have the means to continue to make so many of these videos. So if you don't have $1 a month to give on Patreon, you can be a hero too and just share this video. We're shadow banned on the YouTube algorithm and have been for 3 years. We were growing at a rate of 20,000 subscribers a year, and that stopped around the 3rd year. And now we're shadow banned. So the only people that see these videos are people that are already subscribed and the people that you share it with. And that's the only way we can grow, is if you share these videos. And if you do, we love you. Be safe, and that's a boom.